Hello everyone, this is Eli J. Brown / Eli J. Brony, and welcome to episode 3 of the Evolution of a Hero Factory Hero. In today's episode, we are going to be looking at Mark Surge. He is one of the original 6 heroes that came out in 2010, and with the exception of one series, he has appeared in every series all the way from 2010 to 2014. Now, the only series in which Surge does not make an appearance in is Savage Planet, which came out in summer of 2011. But we are not going to be talking about a version of Surge that doesn't exist. This video is about us talking about every version of Surge that does exist. So here we have, this time, only 5 versions of a hero, since Surge was absent for one series. And now let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? Let's get these guys out of the way, and these guys out of the way, and look at the one that started it all for this particular character. This is the original Mark Surge. This is what Surge looked like when the series started. This is the series where we don't have any bendable arms or bendable legs, because that was not introduced until the next series after this one. Now, Surge was one of the original rookie heroes, which means a couple of things. One, that he doesn't have a unique armor piece. He has the same piece that is used for Burno and Breeze, who are also rookies in this series. And another thing is that he has 2 actual weapons and 2 actual arms, unlike with some of the other heroes that have one arm get integrated into a weapon. That's not how it goes for Surge. Now, Surge is a blue-colored hero. He pretty much fills the spot of the Toa of Water in the first Hero Factory lineup, as most of the heroes carried over the same colors as the Bionicle Toa heroes. But of course, Surge does not use any weapons based around water. Burno would be the hero that eventually had weapons based around water, since he would go to an underwater planet, while Surge, on the other hand, would go into space, but we will talk about that later. Now, Surge's weapons, as he is a hero that uses electricity-based weapons, he has the electricity-based weapons. Now, he has 2 of them right here. They have silver handles on them, and they have yellowish-green electric parts coming out, since this is supposed to represent electricity. Now, the thing here is that you can actually put both weapons onto one hand. Doesn't that work out pretty well for you? Yeah, I would say so. You know, I'm just now starting to notice that this hand over here starts to look like it's a bit grubby, but that's because this is a nearly 7-year-old set. Now, Surge's hero core in this series is a translucent yellow. This is the only series in Hero Factory in which the hero cores would be translucent, and this was the case for most of the heroes. But an exception would be with the dropship pilot, but we are not talking about the dropship pilot. And that is the first version of Surge for you. Now let's go on to the second version that we get in this series. And that there is Surge 2.0. This is the second version of Surge in the Hero Factory series. This is his upgraded form. And he's certainly gained and lost a lot of stuff from his original version. Like, some things that he lost would include having a yellow hero core. He now has a lime green one, which I actually prefer over the yellow one. And the same goes for having a yellow spike on his shoulder. He is one of the heroes to have a spike or a couple of spikes on his body. And also a lime green headpiece. And his visor uses this eye scope, much like Kopaka's visor from the Bionicle series, as well as a microphone boom piece right here. That does look pretty cool. Like with all of the heroes in the 2.0 series, he does have a printed armor piece, which says Surge 2.0. And Surge is one of the heroes, along with Stormer, which I didn't even mention in that episode, to have one of the shorter arms. You see, some heroes have longer arms, while others had shorter arms. And this would also be the case in some of the later series in Hero Factory as well. And it was also the case in Bionicle and, for Bionicle before and after Hero Factory had started and ended. Now, a color that Surge also gets in this version that he didn't have before would be white. He has a white printed armor piece and a white main body piece. And his weapon is this missile weapon right here. It uses two weapon pieces, one down here and one down, or up here, and then there's this blue lightsaber blade, which is used for the laser. Though the thing about Surge is that in the storyline, Surge didn't fight the fire villains, at least not in this form. He does go up against the fire villains along with Stormer, Furno, and Breeze, but he gets captured by the fire villains. And it isn't until the end of the episode that he actually becomes a 2.0. So we don't see a lot of Surge 2.0 in the TV series. We only see him at the end of Ordeal of Fire, and he was also shown in a flashback in Savage Planet, and we did also see him at the start of Breakout, right before he switches to his 2.0. His Breakout version. Speaking of his Breakout version, let's go on to that now. Now, since Surge did not appear in the Savage Planet series, this is the next version of Surge that we get. Now, there are some ups and downs about this version of Surge. Some things that people did like about him, and some things that some people didn't like so much about him. I'm going to go over my thoughts about all of those pretty quickly. Now, Surge, like with most of the heroes, or actually all of the heroes, well, actually most, since there were 3 heroes that weren't even in the first series. But anyway, Surge gets his original first series mask back. That's something that all of the heroes that were in the first series got. They got the first masks that they ever wore. Although the mask is not the only thing that Surge regains from the first series, he also regains his weapon. Now, Surge's electrical weapon this time around, instead of it being lime green like it was in the original, it is now in a blue color. And that weapon connects with this rubber hose that connects from the hand all the way to his back. Now, something about Surge's hands that kind of bugs me is the fact that they are lime green. In fact, his entire arms are lime green. That I personally do not get. I mean, why? Why do you have entirely lime green arms and have lime green hands? Well, actually, in the official version, he only has one actual handpiece. I did fix that problem by giving him another handpiece, which is shown right here. But in the actual set, he instead uses a ball cup piece, the same old one that was used for handpieces in Bionicle before. So I fixed that because there was absolutely no reason why they shouldn't have a handpiece right there. Besides, Breeze and Stormer had a hand like this in the weapon, so why not Surge? And Furno and Evo also carry the same problem. Now, the only thing that is silver on this version of Surge would be these armor pieces on the shoulders and the weapon. There's not really anything else about this version of Surge that has any silver on him. Now, he does get a printed main body piece, and in this case, it has an electrical pattern, since his original weapon was electric-based. He was pretty much a hero that used electric-based weapons. So that is Surge in Breakout form. I'm not really sure if this is the best version of Surge that there was, at least in my opinion. But there is one other version of Surge that a lot of people at the time did consider to be the most greatest version of Surge. So let's go on to that one, shall we? Oh, and he also has the handcuffs, just like with all of the heroes in this series. The handcuffs that he needs to use to catch and cuff Splitface, the villain character that broke out of Hero... Well, one of the villains that broke out of Hero Factory that Surge has been assigned to recapture. Alright, next Surge. This next one is the Brain Attack version of Surge. This one came out in 2013. This version of Surge is very different from the other versions of Surge, but also is same in some way. Well, he first has this Scout drone, or the same piece that was used for the Scout drones by Stormer XL, which I have mentioned in my review on the evolution of Stormer, though I don't think that it actually launches up like the Scout drones on Stormer XL, since we never saw it happen in the Brain Attack episode. Surge also gets a set of wings that each has a flick missile, which we can push it right here. It flies out, just like that. So the thing here is that although Surge was shown to have wings in this version, he doesn't actually get to use them in the episode. I think he did try to use them, but he couldn't because he was attacked by electricity and the wings just didn't work. And he ended up getting, well, possessed by one of the evil brains. An evil brain that this visor apparently was not meant to stop. Now the visors, Surge is one of the, well, all of the heroes have visors in this series, and Surge happened to be one of the heroes to get a printing on his visor. He also got a new helmet piece, which retains the original look of Surge, but they did change it up just a little bit. And his weapon is this electrical weapon, which you can turn this, you can turn this handle, and the electrical weapon just spins like that. And it uses the same pieces that were used for Furno and Stormer in the same series. It just uses some different colors. And Surge also has, like with all the heroes, the Hero Core claw protection thing. And the Hero Cores in this series are all white. The same goes for Breakout too. So that is Surge in Brain Attack version. Now we are going on to the final version of Surge, and that is Minifigure Surge. Now in Invasion from Below, the heroes use these mechs, and the sets represent them in minifigure form. Surge has appeared in 2 different sets. He appeared in Surge and Rocket Combat Machine, and he also appeared in Tunneler Beast vs. Surge. Now, I used a lime green minifig headpiece for this version of Surge, but the official set uses a red one instead. I switched over to a lime green one because I didn't think that it was right for him to have a red one instead of the lime green one, so that is why I have switched it right there. Not really much to say about the minifigures because they pretty much are all the same. Surge does carry a different weapon depending on what set you get him in. Alright, so now it is lineup time from the shortest to the tallest. And there we go. Although Surge 2.0 and Breakout Surge are actually really the same height, but Surge in Breakout form just is so skinny, it just kind of makes him look a little shorter, while 2.0 Series Surge is a lot bulkier, and so that's why I think that he should be at the back, like that, to indicate that he should be taller, but they're really the same height. So, here we have it. from shortest to tallest, Minifigure, Original, Breakout, 2.0, Brain Attack. There you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.